In this video, let's talk about Mecole Hardman back at practice and possibly coming back from IR very soon, an updated injury report for the Chiefs versus Texans game this Sunday, then look at the possibility of the Chiefs signing a very familiar running back who just cleared waivers, is a free agent, and recently helped them win a Super Bowl ring. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs, so make sure to sub, like, you know the deal, and let's get into this video, starting with an injury report. We're going to start with the Houston Texans first because there's a lot to talk about here. First up, the most productive member, or debatably the most productive member of the Houston Texans, Dameon Pierce. He sustained an ankle injury last week in the fourth quarter of the Dallas Cowboys game, and he was seen leaving the stadium in a walking boot. And if Dameon ends up not playing, his loss on the Texans offense cannot be understated enough. This man has almost 1,000 rushing yards on the season and 165 yards receiving with 5 TDs total. The second running back in yards right now on the team, for context, is Rex Burkhead, and he has 80 yards. Yeah, almost 900 yards difference between Pierce and Burkhead. So it's worth keeping eyes on for sure. Some other players to keep tabs on who also did not participate via their injury report. You have wide receiver Brandon Cooks, who leads the team in receiving yards. He missed 2 games now due to a calf injury. Wide receiver Nico Collins, who is second in receiving yards, only behind Cooks. He missed last week's game against the Cowboys due to a foot injury. Then the Texans' third overall pick in the first round of this year's draft, defensive back Derek Stingley Jr. is still working on a separate field with his hamstring injury that's kept him out of the past few games. And then former Kansas City Chief cornerback Steven Nelson injured his ankle last week against the Cowboys, and the list goes on and on for these guys. Offensive lineman Laramie Tunzel didn't participate due to illness, and then several players were limited in practice as well. Offensive lineman Kenyon Green, and then several defensive linemen, Kurt Hinish, Roy Lopez, and Taylor Stallworth with a calf injury. And I know that name sounds familiar to some of y'all because Taylor Stallworth was recently with the Chiefs and just got released by the team a few weeks ago and conveniently picked up by the Texans. And speaking of former players that the Chiefs have released, I want to talk about an absolute legend of a running back here in Chiefs Kingdom that could potentially be returning. Maybe. We'll talk about it, as he just cleared waivers today and is now a free agent. And this running back was actually a sleeper candidate for MVP in the Chiefs Super Bowl win. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Bear Mattress. You see, they reached out to me a while back and offered to send me a mattress and some Benjamin's Baby in exchange for my honest thoughts. And I figured, you know what? Why the heck not? After all, the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West after being slept on all offseason long. And honestly, since getting this mattress, I've never slept better after a Chiefs win than I have now. A good night's sleep is important to me, especially because I've been dealing with some back issues, and I've had this mattress for a couple months now, and let me tell you what, I've been sleeping fantastic. You see, with Bear, you get hibernation quality sleep during every season of your life, but especially during the NFL season after the Chiefs catch a dub. I personally am a back sleeper who likes a medium firmness in my mattress, but my wife sleeps on her stomach and prefers one that is firm, so after taking their online quiz, we were matched with the elite hybrid mattress that would benefit us both, and after ordering, they shipped it to our front door in a box with another box for the pillows. From there, we threw our old mattress out and then quickly realized why it was giving us so many fits at night. Good riddance. Then we took the new mattress into our room, unboxed it, unrolled it, and boom! We officially upgraded our sleep quality. You see, Bear's sleep recovery technology uses a Celliant-powered fabric to help you stay cool throughout the night, and all mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified, Certi Pure UF certified, and Eco Fiberglass free. Basically, all of that means it's as safe and reliable as a Mahomes to Kelsey touchdown in the red zone. And just like in my experience, Bear delivers the mattress right to your door in a box with free shipping in the US and is super easy to set up yourself. Trust me, if I can do it with a hurt back, you can do it too. And if it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, Bear has a 120-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love it. And if you don't, they'll pick it up for you and you'll get a full refund, which is something fans from the rest of the AFC West will never receive for showing up to a game and watching their team lose. Plus, Bear mattresses have a lifetime warranty, and they even offer financing options and flexible payment plans, so a great night's sleep is never far away. I certainly love my quality of sleep with Bear Mattress, and I think you will too. Just go to bearmattress.com/HBTC and use my promo code HBTC to get 30% off. All right, let's finish up this injury report with the Chiefs side of things. then talk a potential running back signing. For the Chiefs, they are certainly less decimated by injuries, but there's multiple to talk about. Those who were limited today were wide receiver Kadarius Toney, hamstring safety Najee Johnson, hamstring, and also wide receiver Mecole Hardman. That's right, he is coming back soon. Regarding Toney, Coach Reid said that he had a ramp-up period last week and came out of that feeling pretty good. So we'll see how he does this week and then make a decision down the road here, i.e. we will take it day by day. But come on now. Does he really need to play this week? Heck freaking no, rest that man, please. Regarding safety Najee Johnson being limited, that's new news. Copyrighted, sorry, I won't say that again. That's new news to me, so we will keep tabs on that, as well as wide receiver Mecole Hardman, who will not actually appear on the injury report until he's back on the roster, but Coach Reid confirmed today that Mecole has been designated to return from IR with his 21-day practice window opening today, the 14th of December. So the team has 3 weeks to put him back on the roster or shelve him on IR for the season. And while I think he's likely to return within the 21-day window, I seriously doubt that it's going to be this week to face the 1-11-1 Texans. No offense to any Texans fan watching this video. Now, here's what Coach Reid had to say about Mecole Hardman today in his presser.
Mecole Hardman will be back out at practice. We'll just see how he does in this ramp-up process. So haven't determined play or not play. We're just going to ease him back in and see where he's at.
And when asked a bit more about Hardman's progress and his time out on IR these past 5 weeks, he missed 1 week, then was placed on IR and missed 4 more. Coach Reid said this.
And we lost a bunch of weight, and so it was a matter of kind of getting that back, but not, with cheeseburgers, right? But get back some good hearty weight and strength. So he's been working on that. He's been working like crazy on that, and he's going to continue to do that here. He'll do that this week, and he's out practicing and doing that. Okay, can we hold the weight and add a little bit to it?
So it looks like he's still working on putting on weight that he's lost during that time, although he was indeed seen at practice today participating in individual drills, dancing to the music, doing some Russell Wilson style high knees, and even practicing punt returns. And then a few hours ago, clearly after practice and with the 21-day window opening up for him, Mecole tweeted out a simple message: 1 day at a time. And honestly, that's all we can really hope for. 1 day at a time for him and Kadarius Toney to continue to heal up and get strong as the Chiefs prepare for their postseason run. That's all that matters, man. The postseason, and with the win against the Texans this Sunday, or a Chargers loss, or I guess both could happen, but one of them has to happen. If that happens, one of those, the Chiefs will officially lock up the AFC West, and then the sights are set on the 1 seed, and ultimately, Patrick Mahomes is certainly excited to have the speed element of Kadarius Toney and Mecole Hardman back, as he touched on that briefly today during his presser.
Yeah, I think getting Mecole and KT back will just add another dimension. I mean, obviously they can do the jet sweeps and stuff like that, but just adding that speed to the field, it makes teams have to honor it, and obviously Marquez has done a great job of filling that role, and so has Sky. But just to continue to add speed to any offense like that those two guys have, I think it'll open up everybody else, because you have to really account for those two guys on every play.
Anyway, let's finish up this injury report for the Chiefs. The rest of the players on here were all full participants, but there were some new names that popped up on here. Safety Justin Reed, shoulder. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, toe. And Patrick Mahomes, right freaking hand. Yes, his throwing hand. Last week, Mahomes was on there for the bruised foot he sustained at the end of the Bengals game, but it appears that the foot is now fine, and he did something minor to his throwing hand either in the game against the Broncos or sometime this week at practice. Again, all these guys you are seeing right now, they fully participated in practice and should be good to go for Sunday, but you just never like seeing QB1's throwing hand listed on the injury report. I don't like that at all. So we'll keep tabs on that. And then some good news here. Upon looking at the injury report, got to end it on a good note. It looks like left guard Joe Thuney has been left off the list completely, meaning the ankle injury that caused him to miss a couple of games here recently, it seems to be all good now, all healed up, or at least I sure hope so. All right, running back time. Damien Williams. Does that name ring a bell? Ding ding. Well, it should, because the veteran running back spent 3 seasons with the Chiefs and was a crucial part of the Chiefs Super Bowl run the year they won it all. I mean, you should at least know the name because of his performance in the Super Bowl when he put a nail in the 49ers coffin with that game-ending run. And during the 2018 and 2019 regular seasons, Williams totaled up over 1,100 yards from scrimmage and 13 touchdowns. However, after the Super Bowl run, Damien ended up opting out of the 2020 season due to the pandemic, and the Chiefs ended up releasing him just prior to the 2021 free agency period. He then signed a 1-year deal with the Bears. Then, this past offseason, signed a 1-year deal with the Falconians. I don't know why I said that, the Falcons. But unfortunately, he suffered a rib injury in week 1 after running the ball like twice and was placed on IR in September. And from there, he saw no more snaps and was just released 2 days ago on December 12th. Well, some have surmised that Damien Williams could be a great emergency option for the Chiefs down the final stretch of the season, even though he hasn't had the same type of production since leaving the team. And honestly, I get the points here, and I kind of agree. Charles Goldman from Chiefs Wire, he says this in a recent article. Damien Williams' versatility to be able to contribute as a runner, a pass catcher, a pass blocker, and even on special teams would make him an extremely valuable asset. There's also something to be said about his chemistry with Patrick Mahomes, even if it is a few years removed. Now, that's easier said than done, because at this point in the season, if a player gets released from a team, he will need to clear waivers, whether he's new or a vested vet. And because the Chiefs are doing so well, they are one of the last teams to be able to claim someone. Well, Charles Goldman himself tweeted out an update this evening saying Falcons running back Damien Williams cleared waivers. He's free to run it back with the Chiefs, or sign with whichever team he pleases. So that means that no team, including the Chiefs, actually wanted Damien Williams on their 53-man roster, because that's what you have to do if you want to claim someone off of waivers. You have to add them to the 53-man roster. But players who are waived from IR, they are often not claimed from waivers because teams want to have them in for a physical before committing to a roster spot. And so that leaves us to the here and the now. Could the Chiefs bring Damien Williams in for a visit, commit to signing him to the practice squad, and if he passes his physical, sign him to said practice squad? Yeah. Definitely, that is not out of the realm of possibilities. Let's talk through this for a moment. The reason they didn't sign him to the 53-man roster and the reason they didn't claim him off of waivers is because 1, he was coming off of IR as stated above, and 2, they are full as it is, and they need room for Mecole Hardman's eventual return here from IR within the next week or 2 or 3, but it's not impossible that they add Damien Williams to the practice squad as an emergency backup and maybe cut someone like the newly signed running back Melvin Gordon, or maybe the wide receiver running back hybrid Jerry and Ely. I don't know, but the positives of having Williams back around for an in case of emergency use are definitely there. Although my hesitancy at the moment is the fact that since 2020, Damien Williams only has 42 total rushing attempts in the NFL. He took 2020 off, then had 40 carries in 2021 and 2 carries this season before getting injured. So he's rusty, coming off of an injury that has sidelined him for the majority of the season and may have lost his physical durability in the process of that. Plus, he's 30 years old, but to be fair, so is Jerick McKinnon, and Melvin Gordon is 29, so never mind that one. But on the subject of Melvin Gordon, this season alone, he has carried the ball 90 times for 318 yards. For the record, those 90 carries are more than double Damien Williams' total carries over the past 3 years, and Melvin Gordon has caught 22 passes for 223 yards. He's battle-tested, physically durable, not coming off of an injury, and is ready to step up and go right now because of all of that. I know he has some fumbling issues, but for the reasons I just mentioned, I think the Chiefs may actually end up passing on Damien Williams. I certainly could be wrong, and I would not complain if he was signed to the practice squad because I liked Damien and wish he stayed a Chief, to be honest. But that's where I want to pass the question off to you guys. Do you think the Chiefs may sign him, or will they stay with Melvin Gordon because of the reasons I just mentioned? He's healthy, durable, has recently played a lot in the league. Or will the Chiefs overlook all of that because of their history with Damien Williams and the fact that he helped them win a Super Bowl, and he still may have something left in the tank? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?